Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn how to create if then else column in Python. But before I create it in Python, I'm going to show you what exactly we are going to do by doing it in Excel. I have a sales data set here and I need to create a new column called deal size. If the sales is more than $5,000, it's going to be a big deal. Else, it's going to be a small deal. So I'm going to do it by using if function. So if sales is more than 5,000, then it's a big deal, else it's going to be a small deal. I'll press enter and I'll drag it to the entire rows. I can see all of it is bucketed. I'm going to do the same thing in Python. In Python there are many ways of achieving this goal, but my personal preference is to use where method in numpy library. Here I have imported all the important libraries. I have also imported the same data set. Now the first thing is I will be creating the column, that is the deal size. Then I'm going to reference it to numpy library and then I will call where method. Now the first argument is going to be the condition. So our condition here is that the sales is greater than 5,000. And if the sales is greater than 5,000, then we should be getting big as the value, which is going to be the second argument. The third argument is going to be the small, that is the else. If I run the code and if I look at the data set, then I see that I got the column of deal size, the same I was getting in the Excel. Okay, let's shift gears. We saw how to create a new column if we have one condition. But what if we have many conditions or more than one condition? So what I'm trying to say is, for example, if I have to create a new column, deal size column, based on these three conditions, where my first condition is that if sales is between $0 to $3,000, it should be a small deal. If the sales is between $3,001 to $8,000, it should be tagged as a medium deal. And if the sales is more than $8,000, it's going to be a large deal. In Excel, such kind of scenarios can be dealt with by nesting if functions or using if-else function. If you are not aware of if-else function, I will put a link in the description where I have shown how to use if-else function in Excel. In Python, to achieve this goal, I have two preferred ways. One is by creating a list and using numpy select method, and second is nest if then else conditions in a for loop. Let's look at the first preferred method. In this, we create two list objects. In the first list, we put all the conditions separated by commas. In the second list, we put the values corresponding to those conditions. Then we call numpy select method. What this method does is, it looks at the conditions. If the first condition holds true, then it will give the corresponding first value from the values list. In the same way, if the second condition holds true, it will give the second corresponding value from the values list. And this way it goes through all the conditions and gives the value for the condition that holds true. Okay, so I'm going to create the first list of conditions. So I'm going to name this object as conditions equal to, I'll open the list bracket. Then the first condition is that the sales is greater than 0. So df sales greater than 0 and sales is less than equal to $3,000. So this is the first condition for small deal. Then comma, then we'll put the second condition where sales is greater than $3,000 and sales is less than equal to 8,000. Then the third condition, the last condition, where sales is greater than 8,000. Oops, I just forgot to put the quotes. Okay, so I'm going to run this, create this list. Now I'm going to create the second list for values. So if the first condition is true, then the value I should get is small. If the second condition is true, then the value should be medium, and if the third condition is true, then the value should be large. Now I'm going to call the numpy select method, and I will pass both these lists. So I'm going to create the deal size column, which will be equal to numpy dot select. Then I'm going to put the conditions list, comma, values list, and I'm going to run this code. Now if I look at the data set, so I'm going to put the data set. If I look at the data set, then I have the deal size column, and all three values are based upon the condition that I passed in my code. Let's look at the second preferred method, that is using if else in for loop. It is a fairly straightforward method. The only thing to note here is we do not make any changes to the data frame through the loop. Rather, we create a list of the values based upon the conditions, and then we pass those values to a column in the data frame. Let's see how. Okay, so first we'll create the list. For that, I'm going to give it a name as deal, and then I will put blank brackets. Then having a for loop where value will be looking into the field sales, and then the first condition, that is if condition, if value is greater than 0 and value is less than equal to 3000, then it should append the value small in the blank list that we created. And please remember about the syntax. Do not forget to provide colon after if condition. So like in elif condition, we are providing the second condition where value is greater than 3000 and value is less than equal to 8000, then colon, and if it is true, then it should append the value as medium in the blank list. And then if none of the condition is true, then it should append the value as large in the list. So I'm going to run this, and if I show you how the deal list look like now, so you can see that it's a standalone list. It's not a data frame, it's just a list. But now I'll pass this list into the column. So I'm going to create a new column, that is deal size, in the data frame, and then I'm going to pass this list as the values. So now if I look at the data frame, I can see the same result that we saw earlier. That was all for today. I will eventually move to more advanced techniques in Python. If you learned something new today, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching this video, and happy learning.